With Jason Lee, My MMA News. Jason, tell us a little bit about your fight coming up.
I don't know that much about this the guy I'm fighting. I know that he's looks like a Muay Thai guy. I heard that he has some boxing as well. I've just pretty much been focused on what I need to work on as a martial artist, not just a fighter. So that's the main thing that I've been doing, and just focusing on this fight as being a competitive fight and not just competing and trying out things. Just focusing on it from that perspective. Sorry.
Can you elaborate on your expectations for this fight outside of obviously the obvious winning?
Well, yeah, I feel that he's probably going to be more of the aggressive type. He said that he might be, it's going to be his last fight, so I don't know what that means, if it means that he's going to try to go out with fireworks and come in with everything, or if this is going to be something, depending on how he does in his fight, then he's going to go. But whichever way, whatever his intentions are, I feel that I'm just going to work on same things that we've been working on in the camp, just movement, working on being accurate, and just being there and giving 100%. I've been in fights where I've regretted things, and I don't want to ever be in that position again.
Jason, tell us where you're from, what gym you train at, and a little bit about the coaches and your sparring partners.
Sure. I've trained out of a couple places. Energy, that's located in Mendez Boxing now, and I train with in Henzo Gracie in Middletown, New York, and also out of the Manhattan location sometimes. I have a lot of great guys that I spar with and train with and enjoy them pushing me, and they enjoy me pushing them. Also training with Ring of Combat champ Taj, and he's always pushing me. He's like a brother to me. So those are the main places that I train right now. Besides that, just family and training. That's pretty much, and work, of course. That's pretty much it.
Tell us a little bit about how you balance your training, your work, your family. That's a lot for any fighter. How do you balance it?
Well, now I've decided to focusing on what matters most, as opposed to just trying to log hours, because obviously I don't have huge sponsorships and all that stuff that like a lot of fighters that I do fight have, where their whole life is just fighting. So my life is my training is I integrate with my kids. Like, I'm running with them. I'm making this pretty much a life thing. Of course, I don't have unlimited hours, so that's how I try to balance it. I don't sacrifice sleep. I'm starting to understand the importance of sleep. I used to just train and sleep roughly 3-4 hours a day, which is probably horrible as a human. But I decided to just figure out, instead of focusing on doing more, but just figuring out what actions means the most, and then focusing on those things.
Who's your coach again? Sorry.
John Sagato is one of my coaches. Joe, Karate Joe, is another one of the guys that I work with especially for this fight coming up. Those are the main people in terms of, and Lupine, that's one of my boxing coach.
Now, what got you into kickboxing and fighting, a combat sport? What brought you into the ring?
I don't know what got me ultimately in the ring. I've been doing martial arts since I was 9, so it's almost 30 years, and went from point fighting, and then went a little bit more, continuous sparring, and then went to full contact. So that was the progression. I started doing MMA for some time and realized I really couldn't compete on a professional level given my time allotment, but I still enjoy jiu-jitsu, still enjoy kickboxing, but I can only focus on one discipline at a time to when it comes to competition. It's just, I just don't have the time to do it, that way. But anyway, I've always enjoyed combat sports. I feel that it's, as John Danaher has said, is a dynamic problem that you're solving. Somebody's attacking you, the problem is changing as you try to solve it, and that's what I really like about it. It's so fast-paced. It's always changing, so that's what I really like as far as the combat sports.
Excellent. Tell us what inspires you and motivates you, just to do this daily grind that you do.
I look at myself and I look at others, and I see that the benefit of what I do is not outside of just competing and everything, but just constantly pushing myself to find a new limit to overcome. Like I have a lot of friends that I grew up with and other people that I've seen for decades, and they look at me and it's like, Jay, you haven't changed a bit. And I'm like, you've changed a lot, because of time. But I don't really party. I don't do anything. Is this my biggest time sink outside of martial arts is just time at home, playing Minecraft with my little daughter and other games with the kids and things with my wife. So it's pretty much. But the main thing for what pushes me to continue is being able to do the things that I can do, simple things outside of martial arts, like shoveling the driveway without any struggle, or being one of my kids' role models, like them looking up to me and saying, my dad is stronger than your dad, that type thing. And my daughter actually told this to another little kid on the playground, and the kid said, no, he's not. And then she said, show me your dad. And then she saw her dad say, yes, he is stronger than your dad. And I like that they know and they look at me and they just see me as that. And I understand the only way to keep that title is just pretty much train and push, and them seeing how I conduct myself in my life, and then they understanding that at the very least, Dad won't tolerate anything less than what he does in his life. So.
Excellent. I guess you just one thing that you would like fans to know that they don't know about you.
One thing that, everyone that has spent a lot of time around me knows I'm pretty much a straight shooter. Like, I'm very simple in that regard. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's very secretive that people wouldn't know that knows me well. Those that don't know me, they might look at me and then they think that it's all about fighting for me. If you just casually observed me in the ring, but it's far from that. I enjoy fighting. I enjoy the combat sports and everything, but it's all about me pushing myself and finding a limit. Like, I don't really. I heard someone say something similar. It's like, I don't want to be at the end of my life and be all prime and nice and clean cut. At the end of life, have a couple scars and barely get out. Like, I'd rather have my life completely spent as opposed to having it all in a bank and then die. So. But it's not about just the fighting aspect. It's more about pushing myself to the limit, seeing how far I can go, given the time that I allow for training, and also just growth. Like, that's really my main thing, is just growing. And it's not the man in front of me; it's the man within me that I'm constantly trying to overcome and redefine.
Excellent. We appreciate your time, and good luck on January 29th. Or 8th, excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
January 28th in 2 weeks. Good luck, Jason Lee.
All right, thank you.